Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Well, I suppose we all know what it means when I got this backpack. It's archery time. That's right. I have finally made a backstop for when I shoot my arrows a little too high. We are going to test it. Now, obviously, with none of these, those are my hunting arrows. I'll have to go back inside and grab at least 3 of my regular target arrows. For the time being, oh no, wait, that's my sister's. We're going to test the backstop. Once with the rule of 3. Once is a coincidence, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, thrice is certain. So, I shall return in a moment. I'm back with the arrows. Let's go, shall we? Now, it's important to understand wait a minute. Sorry about that, I just wanted to check if the video orientation would be the same. But in any case, it's important to understand that this backstop is not necessarily complete yet. It's got the bulk, but I'm planning on adding some height to it by getting some hay bales. Now, I'm going to be shooting at this backstop, and I'm not purposely going to be trying to hit any specific area. Really? I'm just attempting to see if it'll stop the arrow. My numbnuts grabbed an arrow with only 2 fletching. You can't shoot that. No telling where that thing would go. Well, let's see the results, shall we? There we go. Now, we can see these are 31-inch arrows. And they went about halfway into the backstop. Now, keep in mind that I shot these roughly 15, 20 yards away. How do I know this? Well, because my 20-yard pin is accurate, because anything with between 10 and 15 yards with my 20-yard pin will basically go where I want it to go. I found that out through experience. And because it stopped the arrows like that, I can damn well guarantee that this will be a most useful backstop. Now, what do I mean when this isn't complete? Well, it's kind of low to be a backstop. My deer target would probably go about here, and I have a tendency to miss high most of the time. I don't miss low, I miss high most of the time. So I want to bring this up maybe 2 feet higher than it is. So I'm going to be buying hay bales from my local Menards, the one that I work at, to kind of boost it up, make it a little higher. And honestly, from the end of my backyard to where I'm standing now, I could probably is about 40 yards, give or take. So I can confidently say that if this thing stops an almost 60-pound bow at just 20 yards, then it's going to stop the arrows at a much longer distance. But like I said, we need more conclusive data. So we're going to step back out. I'm going to fire these 2 arrows again, and I'm going to try to aim for the furniture fragile thing. There we go. Drop a like if you want to see more of these POV target shootings. I should really start filming my archery sessions. Maybe I'll start doing bow shooting sessions instead of just cutting sessions. But before I end the video, let me go back out to 1. Okay, this is back out to 1 times magnification. And I was shooting roughly where this arrow is. Now, from where I'm standing, this is kind of deceiving in a way, because you see these archery videos and you see them shoot so far out when in actuality, they're not shooting much further than I am, because it's a lot harder to miss sub 20 yards than it is to miss at 40 yards. And if I go back to 8 times magnification, it looks a lot closer. It's deceptive. It may, because objects in the way it works is that an object in a camera, the closer that object is to the camera, the larger it appears. That's why my belly looks 3 times bigger than it is. But to me, because I'm used to shooting archery, I have a good idea of the distance, and to human eyes that are a lot better at human eyes are actually more times than not better at judging distance than your standard camera. What appears to be 20 yards to the human eye will actually look like 40 yards to the camera because of the distance the camera lens is from what it's looking at. That's why that tree looks to be another 100, maybe 30, 40 yards behind that box, when in reality it's probably just another 15, 20 yards. Right now, I probably look much smaller than when I get closer to the camera. So when you see these archery videos and you're like, oh man, they're shooting at such long distances. General rule of thumb is, whatever the distance you think they're shooting at, if they don't actually tell you how far away the target is, the general rule of thumb is it's half the distance of what you think. If it's 40 yards to the camera, it's in reality about 20. And if it's 20 yards to the camera, so this is 20 yards, that would be about 20 yards to the camera. This is 10 yards to me. Maybe 4 or 5. I'm not entirely the greatest when it comes to yard measurements myself. That's why I use a rangefinder. But I hope that you found this information useful, and I hope you enjoyed watching the backstop being tested. This really isn't a backstop that's movable by conventional means. Yes, I can move it, but do I want to move it is the question. And you may be wondering, oh, Outlaw, that's just a cardboard box. It's going to be destroyed over the course of rain and dissolve into the ground. And well, yes, I eventually will have to get a much more permanent backstop solution, but for the time being, this took up a lot of excess cardboard that was just cluttering up my garage, and excess insulation panels. That's all that's pretty much in there, is insulation panels that I cut up, cardboard, and more cardboard and insulation panels. So yes, I am going to have to find a much more permanent solution to my problem of not having a reliable backstop that won't destroy my arrows. But for the time being, this will work. And I could always, if I so chose, throw a tarp over it to kind of shield it from the rain, if only a little. And who knows? Over time, as I add more and more to it, it may just become like a big-ass mound of dirt that will stop my arrows every time. you think, my noble band of outlaws? Like I said, if you like the POV cutting sessions, drop a like in the likey button below. Subscribe if you want. I guess I'm starting to go into more of the YouTube norms of saying like and subscribe, but I really don't like doing that, because if you like my content, I feel like if you really like my content and want to see more of it, you'll subscribe on your own without having to ask me to, without me having to ask you. But like and subscribe if you would be so inclined. And until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons. I'm out. Peace.